Hey guys, would it be totally crazy to have tough conversations with your partner that didn't end in an argument? For many couples, myself included, tough conversations often lead to conflict. Bye-bye sex life. These unresolved topics can also lead to silence. There's no more conversation about anything. It's a really crazy existence. It's one of passivity. It's one I don't recommend to any couple because it just breeds resentment, and that can end in divorce, as it did for me. Despite that, both parties are really wanting to talk about things. They're just not wanting to be attacked or feel made wrong about the opinions that they hold true to their heart. And it could be topics such as just living practices, the way that they do their day-to-day, raising of the kids, and wanting more sex. Believe me when I say this comes directly from the heart and my personal experience. It's not the end of the road, if you choose it. Finding new love has been an absolute roller coaster. Ups and downs, great times, poor times, you name it, it's been there. The experience of finding new love encompassed the same conversation challenges as before. Yes, leaving the relationship that I had didn't stop the problems of that time coming forward into my future relationship. One thing I knew for sure, I wasn't going to give up, and that was because I believe that I've found someone that I could love, nurture, care for, and build a beautiful, loving existence with. That was a major distinction that I needed to make so that I couldn't go ahead and just blame someone else for the problems rather than take responsibility myself. This was the inspiration I needed to act fast and implement a better way, a better approach to conversation about these touchy topics. And this is where the 3 steps comes in handy. The first step is have a goal. Know what you want. Know the outcome that you'd like. We will inherently go over and above to be right rather than to be in line with the dynamic in the partnership, do what's right ethically and also empathically. Without knowing what you want in advance, you're dramatically decreasing your chance of success. What is mostly done is people just put a practice into place, assuming that it's the right way without really testing it. So don't get ahead of yourself and just take action. Plan it out first. Know what you want. Once you've figured out what you want, it's time for step number 2, which is understand her needs. You've come this far, you've got a relationship, you've hit a few stumbling blocks, but now it's time to look at what the other person in the relationship is really after. Use empathy as your point of view to understand what she wants, what she feels, her desires, and see if you can bring them into fruition. Despite wanting to dominate conversations, be kind, listen, and be understanding. This part is almost more important than the talk itself. Imagine you plan out what you want and how you might be able to get there. Then you're kind, your listening skills are great, and you're understanding. Imagine the outcome that you could potentially get. See that in your mind, as opposed to, I'm going to put this forward, this is the way it's got to be, and that's how it's going to be done. You're going to be met with resistance. Kind, empathic listening is the key. Some upsides to this, you might discover things about your partner you never knew, and they could be really beneficial to crafting the way that you think in order to maintain a healthy, loving relationship. You might also rediscover the love that brought you together in the first place, fall back in love with that person you've spent a long time with, and that's just great for yourself, your partner, and your children. Now you've got yourself a little vision, so take your reconnaissance with the visioneering that you've done, the words that you wanted to say, the points that you wanted to put forward, and try and anticipate where you or your partner might be getting triggered. Let's remove that from the conversation and plan for it so that you can still maintain strong, great communication and connectivity. You can see things from another point of view rather than just pushing and blasting your points forward, and really try and build that connectivity. Find alternative ways to say the same thing, which are a bit more of a soft way, a bit more calm, kind, and empathetic. This is still all at the theoretical level, so get yourself a notebook, a pen and paper, and then get these ideas down so that you're prepared mentally for the twists and turns that the conversations may go with. Why you want to do this? Because we don't know it all. We might think we do, but I want you to understand that you're at loggerheads for a reason. You haven't got the solution to the problem that keeps coming up again and again. So you want to theoretically try and solve this problem, see where you're going wrong, see where you both may be going wrong, and find an alternative pathway to get that great communication happening. With all of this planning and theorizing in place, it's time to have your chat. There's no need to be formal. Keep it nice and relaxed so we can keep the emotions down, stay calm, and talk well. Make sure your timing's right. Don't hijack other conversations and bring in this random argument out of nowhere. Find the right time to talk. You might like to approach her with a bit of a softer opening. A question, for example, which has empathy and honesty at the heart of it. Something like, Babe, I love you, and there's nothing more in the world that I want than to be connected and close to you. I know we've had troubles in the past, and I really want to get past that. Would it be so terrible if we could actually agree on the topics that are upsetting us? You've opened her up to see where she's at, where you're at, and hopefully get the conversation started. From there, you want to outline your shared goals or visions. You want to see what's available rather than just go straight to solving. You want to see where are you both at? What do you think you'd like to see come of this conversation? And try to navigate the kinds of emotions and difficult conversations that will come up. Patience is absolutely key here. Yes, you might be scared, I understand. You think there's no way through, but you take the plunge anyway, you give it your best shot. Maybe that first time around, you don't get everything done in the first conversation. For me, it's taking years to get past every little stumbling block. That's just how it is sometimes. But hey, this is actually a success. This is actually a little bit of progress that you wouldn't have ever had you not have taken the guts to pre-plan your goal, pre-plan your modes, and connect with your partner on these topics. The trick is to continue being open and empathetic. It's definitely a vulnerable space, hence being patient. And it's definitely not a straight shot win, but it's progress. This feeds directly into your prosperity, your partner's prosperity, your kids' prosperity, your emotional satisfaction in your relationship, and your kids will see you doing great communication, which will feed directly into their relationships in the future. And this is my favorite, the impact that you might be interested in the most is lovemaking. If you enjoyed this peek into bringing back your spark, take a look at this video where I speak about regaining your power.